Thank y'all for tuning in to Politics, Religion, and Whiskey, the Josh Terry podcast, brought to you by Raising Grace Studios. Today, with me, I have got a legend. If you've ever been to a bar around, I don't even know, it wouldn't be considered South Georgia. What's that section?
I guess it would be, South Georgia.
Yeah, South Georgia. No, anything from Macon to Savannah to Valdosta. Mr. Chuck Parrish, one of my good friends. I'm super excited to have you here.
Oh, man, thank you for having me here. I'm so excited. We've been trying to do this for a few weeks now?
Yeah, you were one of the ones that when we started this, I was like, I have to get Chuck in here. I knew it would flow very well, and the fact that we were together last night, and I think we're both hurting.
Oh my
still
God.
From last night,
bro, I'm hurting so bad. That was night 2 for me this week.
Because you played in front of a whole lot of people on Friday, and then last night we ended up having a good turnout last night.
Yeah, we played. I haven't been in the Swainsboro area. That's where we were playing, Swainsboro and then Lyons on Saturday. But I haven't been back to Swainsboro in a year. And that used to be my stomping grounds. When I was in that area, like if you were coming out on a Friday night, you were going to see me at like a Coleman Lake or somewhere near that.
I've never been to that place.
It's shut down now, unfortunately.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. But I've played it so long. I've been through 4 owners, and total regime change just about every time. But there's always the only standing was like, "Hey, Chucky, can you play Friday?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got it. Let's do it." But to be gone for a year and to come back, it was super awesome because everybody kind of showed up and showed out, and we ended up getting the kill signal from the bar owner at 1:30. He was like, "Listen, bro, I got 30 minutes to get all these people out. Let's go." And I was like, all right, you can't get home, but you guys,
get your ass out of here.
That's it.
Before we get too in depth with all this stuff, why don't you go ahead and drop your social media so they know where to go find you at?
Well, the easiest way to do that is to go to www.chuckparrishmusic.com. The first thing when you pull up, it's a big picture of my bald head, and then all of our social links. Instagram, it's Chuck Parrish Music? No, it's Chucky P Music, I think.
Yeah, because I just tagged you in a picture. I'm pretty sure it's Chucky P Music.
Yeah, Chucky P. That's my friends and family name. Everybody knows me by Chucky P, but the official name is Chuck Parrish.
I went the longest time without knowing your name was Jeff.
Really?
I met you.
That's my government name.
Yeah, we all got those. I met you a couple years ago through a girl that I was making bad decisions with at the time.
Doesn't that happen all the time?
Oh boy.
Right?
Those bad decisions.
What's funny about it is it's not just Jeff, it's Jefferson. And if I give you my full government name, I'm gonna give you the first and middle.
Do it because I didn't know it was Jefferson.
Oh yeah, it can be either a distinct name like a presidential, or it can be that old wino at the end of the street.
Yeah,
it's Jefferson Luther.
Oh my God, that is a sexy name. Why is that not your stage name?
Because it could either be presidential, or you could equate it with that old brown bag wino sitting. Do you got a dollar?
Or is you driving me around in my Cadillac?
Right.
Like me sitting in the back seat.
Excuse me,
Jefferson Luther. Turn left here.
Take me to Peacock Street, please.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Jefferson Luther.
Yeah, man.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, it's funny because Chuck, of all names, you know.
How did you get Chuck?
That's the story. So, I was born and raised in Atlanta, all around there, every city around there. So I'm used to the city. I'm used to the traffic. I know it sucks for most people.
I hate it.
But when you grow up in hell, you're used to living in the fire. But so I came down to Georgia Southern, went to college briefly.
How you made it through Georgia Southern?
I didn't make it through. My liver made it through, but I didn't make it through the actual class portions. I eventually just kept playing music, and we'll see how that got us.
That's happened to many a man at the borough.
Yeah, so I went out to a buddy of mine. He was like, "Man, we're going to go out and have a good time." He said, "I know you from the city. You ain't ever ridden no horse before. You can come with us." And I was like, "Bro, we got horses in the city. I used to work on a horse farm." He's like, "Yeah, but you ain't ridden no country horse before." So we go out, and the guy, crappy part of the story, the guy that owned the horses got kicked in the face by a horse that day.
Oh, shit.
So we were like, okay, we're not riding horses. So he's like, all right, we're going to go to this party. We go to this party, and I meet, at the time, what I thought were 2 country bumpkin guys. Now they're dear, dear friends of mine. Love them to death. I was just hanging out with them this morning, as a matter of fact. But we played, and I introduced myself, and, of course, played the guitar, and they come up to me after, and they're like, listen, buddy, you're lying to one of us. And I was like, listen, I ain't lied to nobody. I've been straight up, honest. And he was like, no, we don't like it. You lied to one of us. And I was like, well, what'd I lie about? And he was like, well, you told him your name was Jeff, and you told me your name was Chuck. So which is it? And I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, man, I must have been slurring pretty bad for somebody to get Chuck out of Jeff.
Yeah.
But, okay. I said, well, you're both wrong. It's Jefferson. But, you can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I'm sticking with Chuck. I like Chuck. And so for the rest of the night, it was Chuck, Chuck, Chuck. And then my buddy, because we worked together, told my boss about the story because, here I am out in the woods. Don't know these country bumpkin guys.
Yeah.
And they're, hey, man, you lying one of us. I'm like, okay. My cornbread,
Yeah, yeah. Chill out real quick with shit like that.
They told my boss about the story, and I picked up the phone, and I was like, hey, thank you for calling such and such. And this is Jeff. And he was like, hey, Chuck, how you doing? I was like, God, does everybody know this story? And so it got to a point in the Statesboro area and around that area, nobody knew who Jeff was. Yeah. They all knew Chuck, and it got stuck. And then Chucky became an addition to that, and then Chucky P came out of it, and then that made me sound like a DJ. I actually had people who were like, hey, bro.
It kind of does.
It's like, I was going to come see your show, but I saw the marquee. It was like a dude named Chucky P. I'm not coming to see a DJ. I want to see live music. So that's why I kind of started focusing on it's Chuck Parrish. To stick with that and keep my government name on the low key.
Yeah, if I saw Jefferson Luther on a
you'd think you're going to R&B jam,
yeah,
right?
I think we're finna go get rocked. I think you're fixing to make a lot of people happy. Panties getting thrown at you. Which if you wasn't married, I could see that happening now. There's some of the stuff that you play when you get on air.
Yeah,
you got it. I've seen them. I know how you landed such a beautiful old lady.
Oh man, she's a boss.
I love your wife.
You couldn't find a better boss, work ethically or at home. She just keeps it going nonstop. She keeps me in check.
I know. I can imagine. I had to call her one time and apologize to her for the event that I did a couple years ago, the Vet Bash.
Oh yeah,
where I gave a bunch of veterans a lot of free alcohol.
Yeah, I was there.
Somebody I had been having a good time with decided to show up with somebody else and have a good time with them in front of me.
The most interesting part about that whole night was, you're right, we gave a lot of free liquor away, and I had a good time, but I looked up and I was like, has anybody seen Josh?
Yeah, I got thrown out of my own event.
Yeah. It's the first time that's ever happened to me. Somebody holding an event got thrown out, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going to keep playing guitar and drinking.
It was one of them things. I got my feelings hurt. I got my feelings hurt in front of my face, and then I was like, I'm drunk off wild turkey. Let me go hit this guy. I don't even remember. I feel bad because the guy is actually an extremely nice guy.
Right.
He didn't know what he was getting into. And I felt bad about it for the longest time. Like every time I'm around this cat now, well, I've only been around 2 or 3 times, but I'm like, man, let me buy your liquor. Or let me buy your beer. I'm sorry. Super sorry. And what was crazy is, all right, so all these veterans that were there, and there was a good bit of them that were there, when I got thrown out, they wanted to fight the security guards that putting their hands on me.
Oh, God.
So then I get this complex while I'm outside. I feel like damn General Patton or something.
Yeah.
I got a whole army of veterans behind me.
Get them, boys.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, y'all want it? Let's do it. Like World
right.
War III is fixing to happen right here, right now. Have you played that bar or been there in a long time?
Not since then. I take that back. I've been one other time. I forget who was playing that night. I want to say it was like Dukes or maybe Nate Kenyon or somebody like that was out there playing. So I stopped in, but that's it. I hadn't been back.
Yeah, I got banned for the longest time.
Did you?
Oh yeah, longest time. And we were doing their biggest events. Mm-hmm. Like we had done 4 or 5 events there in the past. I don't know. It was less than a year, probably 6 months. We did like one a month.
Right.
And they had more people at each one of those events than they had the rest of the month.
Right. That's awesome.
I know, it was good. That was when Bearded Bastard was a thing.
Right.
And they always went well there. But then I showed my ass because Wild Turkey 101 and Heartbreak don't mix. That's
you know why
damn
they named
country
it
song.
Wild Turkey 101? Because it's a teaching lesson every time you drink it.
Oh my God, that's
you
perfect.
Learn some kind of lesson every time.
Not
to do that again. Right?
Yeah, because same shit. Last year, at the beginning of last year, I had been dating this girl for a while. Super serious about her, cared a lot about her. And her dad and all her family, that's all they drank was like Wild Turkey 101.
That should have been a red flag.
Oh, yeah, we should have been. You're right. And when we broke up, I drank within a 2-month period. I was getting when I get heartbroken, my little fat ass heart get broke.
Oh,
like
man.
I'm talking about saddest little puppy.
It's been a long time since I've been heartbroken. Thank God, but I know your pain.
But for 2 months straight, I was going through like a fifth of 101 every 2 days.
Yeah, I don't
I was drinking like almost a half a fifth a day, and some days it depended on how long I was up. Because I was still doing the bearded bastard stuff, so I didn't have to get up and go to work or anything. Right. So I'd be hammered 24 hours. People were worried about me. They were like, "You're an alcoholic," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm just heartbroken. I'm just sad."
Listen, Josh, it's been 6 months. It's time to get over it. You're not heartbroken.
I can't drink it anymore now. Like I drank it so much in those 2 months period that if you see me with a bottle of it now, it's very, very rare, and it's still like some of my favorite liquor to drink. But shout out to Wild Turkey. Y'all should, sponsor this.
No joke.
But it's some of my favorite. And I just can't no more because it's like between that event, me and you. Because I remember me, you, and Matt Brantley turning that bottle of 101 up before y'all took your turns on stage.
Yeah, I regretted every second of it.
Oh, dude, did I?
It was good to see Matt. That was the first time I actually met Matt Brantley that night. So much. And he's a phenomenal singer, man.
He's a beast, dude. I think he's not playing anymore.
Really?
He's not doing anything anymore.
That's sad to hear.
Killer. He's very happy with his life and everything. He's got a beautiful wife and family, and I think I don't know this, but I know that he hates like the fake country.
Oh man.
And I think that he just got tired of putting his heart and soul into something and not getting anything back.
Right.
And that's kind of where I hope like some of our discussion today goes. But you've been doing this for a while. And how many years you been doing this now?
Professionally playing music, 15 years.
15 years?
Yeah, we started early high school. I didn't think very much of music for a long time when I was a kid. My dad played. He played country music religiously. But behind the scenes, he was a hardcore, like Eddie Van Halen, R.I.P. Eddie. He was a hardcore Eddie Van Halen fan. So he would play all these crazy licks and show off every time. Like, you can hand my dad a guitar right now, and he's either going to play one bluegrass lick or he's going to play Eddie Van Halen Eruption. Guaranteed, I'll put everything I got on. Before he plays anything, he'll play those two things just so you know that he's the best guitar player in the room. And so, I didn't really care for music growing up. And then I got to, like, freshman year of high school. And I had guitars, and I knew a little bit. And we had a big party. It was the first time you had, like, one of those Not Another Teen Movie parties where they, like, throw the flyers down the staircase. And we wanted to recreate that because we thought it was cool. But then we ended up having to pick up all the flyers on the bottom of the staircase.
Yeah, that's super bad when you have to clean up out there.
So we had a bunch of girls come over, and some of the seniors came and brought beer. It was a cool party. And they were like, "Whose guitar is that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's mine. What's up?"
I hate you. I wish I could have been that guy.
Oh, man. I only knew 2 songs. And then I had to play Sweet Home Alabama and Your Body is a Wonderland. And I was like, finally, I get to use this song.
You fucking knew how to do John Mayer back.
Yeah, man.
That works.
Well, I had a crush on a girl that just loved that song. Oh, yeah. And I was like, I'm going to learn this tune. We're going to make this guitar work. And after that party, man, they were all swooning, and I was just like, you know what, this is life for me.
Is it not crazy how women have influenced almost every damn decision in our lives? That's me.
Man, if I didn't have the women in my life directing my traffic, there's no telling what I'd be doing. But yeah, after that, I kind of stuck to music. I had an alcoholic uncle that loved to play, and he'd play with me no matter what. Teach me everything he knew. As long as he had his, Curtis Low bottle, he was ready to go. Same story. And then I took to hard rock and heavy metal music. I was the lead singer of a band called No Trust, singing like Godsmack and Shinedown covers and Breaking Benjamin covers.
Shinedown, I've literally not thought of them in years.
Great.
They're so good.
You need to check out. They've got an acoustic thing called Smith and Myers now. It's just a lead guitar player.
Oh, no shit.
They do nothing but covers. Like, they do Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. He covered an Adele song. Super awesome. So shout out to Smith and Myers.
Smith and Myers.
Yeah, it's the lead singer, Brent Smith, and the guitar player, Zach Myers. Man, you'll love it. I promise. But yeah, we were doing stuff like that, and then we wrote our own music, and we started getting very, relatively big for the local scene. We got to open up some really great shows at the Masquerade when it was still there, and I think one of the biggest shows we got to open up for a band, Anthrax, if you've ever heard of
I
them.
do know who Anthrax is.
Yeah,
they've got a song that
those.
I actually really, really like, and it's only one song that I
Right.
can remember, but I can't remember what it is now. It's
no
like
telling, they got
it's
a
like the
bunch.
#1 song they've ever had.
You tell me.
I don't know.
Hell,
I
we were
don't.
17. It was cool for
Yeah.
us. You know, we were underage out there playing and
Oh, yeah.
getting rowdy with one of the biggest metal bands. And shortly after that, everybody kind of took off and one went to college. One became a firefighter. He's a captain of a fire department
cool.
now. And of course, I didn't have anything else going on. I was laying floor covering at the time.
Yeah.
And then went to Georgia Southern because there was a girl down there.
It's always because of your girl.
Yeah, man. Couldn't beat that story. We're married now, so.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, man. But went down there, and I played my first show at, I can remember it like it was yesterday, I was at Dingus McGee's.
Dingus McGee's.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about, bro.
I
Really?
don't. No, I've only ever. All right, so there's a shopping center that's close to the
Right, the
football
plaza,
stadium, right?
right.
The plaza. So the only bar I ever remember going to, because I usually blacked out if I was ever in Statesboro, is the one that was in the corner of the plaza.
Plantation Room, right?
I don't remember what it was. Like, that's the only one I remember. And then the Blue Room that they got now. And they called
Blue
the Blue
Room's one
Room.
of my favorite places.
I
love those
actually,
guys,
last
man.
time I was there, I went to see you.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
awesome.
on my way to Savannah, and you told me that you were playing that night.
It was me and Daniel Johnson.
Yeah, that's right.
Daniel
We
Johnson
stopped
band.
and listened to you, then we went to Savannah to see Tyler Branch.
Yeah, sure enough. That was a great show. I didn't expect it to turn out as well as it did. You know, Daniel and I have been playing since I got to Statesboro, and he's taken off in his career exponentially at this point. But he was like, "You want to come play one?" I was like, "Man, anytime to be in the borough playing, I'll be happy to do it." And then the best shot we got from the whole night, we recorded some video that night, and it looks like we're doing like this hardcore duet that you see on the ACMs or something. We're
Love
singing
it.
"Friends in Low Places," and I was like, "Man, we're gonna see that one. We'll go down the record books."
Yeah, I almost didn't leave the Blue Room that night. I was going to Savannah, and there was these two girls. They knew me from Snapchat and Bearded Bastard.
Right.
Both of them were dimes. Both of them, oh my gosh, I remember it like it was yesterday. I don't know their names still to this day, but there's videos of us like all dancing and hanging out while you're playing or whatever.
Right.
And like I'm thinking to myself, I am 12 years older than you. I did not realize how old I was until
probably
I
dated you
hung
wrong.
out in the Blue Room. Like I can't go back to college towns. But y'all, every time I've ever seen you play, though, you put on like a really good show.
Appreciate
you got a
that.
whole lot of energy. You really get going with the crowd. What is some of the things moving forward? You've been doing this for 15 years.
Sure.
What are some of your short-term goals coming up and like long-term goals coming up?
You know,
Where you see Chucky Parrish in a year and where you see him in 5?
you know,
Or Jefferson Luther. you know,
Jefferson
we should-
Luther. We,
Yeah.
we might go the R&B route. You know, we have been working a long time. Finishing that story, I started playing country music in Dingus. Or I started playing rock music at Dingus, and they couldn't stand it. And they were like, "Can you play some country music for me?" And I was like, "Well, yeah. Unfortunately, I do know some at the time.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't into country music then, and I dropped into it. And then shortly after that, I joined another country band with a guy named Cody Walden, playing for him. And I started like really delving into my roots and playing country. And then, from there, it's developed a love for it. And then, this last few years, people have been harping on me like, "Hey, man, you got to get something out." And after you play for so long and you start to develop a minor reputation, you don't want to put out shit,
Never
Like,
put
I don't,
out, yeah.
I didn't want to be that guy that recorded somebody's basement or,
Thank you for not doing that.
Right, or have
and
a
then
picture-
sending it to me on Facebook Messenger, telling me that you got this great song.
Well, like there was one guy I had heard, everybody told me like, "Hey, I have this awesome song and you got to hear it." And then they send me a link to it and he's on a porch swing playing this song. And I was like, "You did that on your phone, bro. Like, I appreciate your artistry and you're trying to get your music out there, and as you should. But for me at the time, I was like, man, I can't put out bullshit."
I have seen one person put out bullshit, and I liked it. Nate Kenyon, when he was first getting started,
Right.
used to video the most awkward fucking performances
That's Nate for you there.
on YouTube. But I think that some of the stuff that he used to do that way
Right.
is fucking great. I think that it's so damn good and it's
Right.
authentic him. And I dig it. I dig it.
Well, and if you got that authenticity, that's awesome. But most of my stuff translates in a live show, like you were saying.
Oh, yeah. You're all right. So you have people like Garth Brooks is probably the most famous for it, of being an entertainer in country
Right.
music. Like you go to his show, and it's not like going to a George Strait show. George Strait's going to stand there and play.
Right.
Garth's going to get you into
Pumped.
the concert, wilding out,
Right.
and that's what you do. That's what Michael Clements and them do.
Oh, yeah, most
that y'all
definitely.
make a small room. Well, not a small room. Even if you have a small crowd, you get them going.
You still got to get them
You
going.
get them going every time. And with the goals or whatever, the reason I brought that up a while ago was because you played me in the Velvet Session a while ago, which, by the way, y'all, the Velvet Session should be up and running now. So y'all go check out Chucky P, Luther
sure appreciate
Jefferson,
it.
Chuck Parrish, his Velvet Session. But the last song that you played a while ago,
Oh, man.
I got goosies. I got tears in my eyes.
Oh, well, that's good to know. Hopefully that translates to everybody else.
No, you got it. That song right there is gonna make you and Shay and them boys a lot of money.
Here's hoping, man. That's part of our goal, to answer your question. A year from now, we're hoping to.
That's what I was getting to. I hope you put that
radio.
out within a year from now.
Yeah, so we just put out As Long As You're Looking for Me in August, and then we decided, moving forward, we got a certain track record we're going to follow and just put them out. I held on to. I've got most of an album done. I've got a few more tracks coming from my good buddy Jason, and he's a hell of a producer. I couldn't have found a better guy.
Yeah.
And we started just waiting because we talked to some labels and had some scouts come out, and of course COVID screws everything up. God help us. But
Don't worry, the election's next week. It'll be over.
it'll be over then,
right
right?
after it.
here's hoping. Damn sure ready to get out and play some more. But yeah, that's our goal, is start putting out music, and that's one of the new tunes. I just got the music back for it, between what we recorded and what the studio musicians did, and we've got some great guys on that. So I'm hoping we're going to release the music and then see how it translates, and hope some of these big guys like it and want to take my fat ass to the top too.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it. If not, I'd be happy playing those tunes other. That one you're talking about, it's called This Room.
I'm telling you, that's it. Of all the stuff I've heard you put out,
Right.
that's your one. That is above and it's a whole different ballpark. As much as I liked anything else that you've sent me,
I appreciate that.
that one right there, the right person hears it, you are a rich man.
It's a very emotional song. It's loosely based around me.
But one thing, I had somebody in here a couple days ago or whenever, and I was trying to tell them, I don't think for the average person who's just not this amazing songwriter, I think that everybody has one great song in them, one
Right.
absolutely great song, and it's usually based off of their life. It's usually their life experiences,
Right.
because no one else can write that song but you.
Right.
And I feel like you've got more than one great song in you.
Well,
But
I appreciate that.
but that one right there it's you. It's your
Right.
life experience. Somebody else can tell that story but you. And I was over there. I was just in the corner because I always avoid being in front of somebody during the Velvet Sessions because I don't want to distract them or anything.
Right.
And I was listening to you, and you did cover me up, Jason Isbell's version, and it was so good. And then I listened to the next one, it was good, and then the next one was good. And then when you played that one,
Yeah.
from the first licks, you had my attention.
Right.
And then it got to that last chorus, and the whole time I'm sitting there fixing to message the sound engineer that I'm getting to do the studio
Right.
backstage behind us, and it's like, we need this equipment now.
Right now.
Yeah,
Right.
so we can make this for Chucky. That's a gold mine.
Man, what I love about that song is Shay. We were talking about her earlier, my wife. She actually planted that seed of This Room, and she's a hell of a writer. If you haven't had a chance,
Really?
she really is. I mean, you take what she does for her business side, but what she does on her own. Just watching her Facebook and Instagram, you're like,
Yeah.
all right. And I can't tell you how many times, and it drives me up the wall some days, where somebody's like, I follow your wife on Facebook. She's amazing. and I just love reading everything. I'm like, did you by chance follow me too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'll go take a look at that. I'm like,
Yes.
all right,
My
thanks,
wife.
Jay.
If you think my wife's cool,
You should see me. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, she's got more followers than I do, which is awesome. But she planted that seed. She was like, everybody has a big memory at some point of something that happened, whether it's good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. But nobody talks about the fact that every time you're in that memory, you can remember the place you were at.
Yeah.
You can, if it's a vivid enough memory, you remember sitting in, a studio with a bald guy, but you remember there was
bald guys and beards.
Yeah, there was a black table there. There was a Trump flag on the wall. To talk about those things, for me, we had the nurse glass, being in the hospital, having your kid there, and the second kid's coming. I can remember standing there just looking at the tiles, like, is this going to come? How are we doing this? Like, is this the time? And so I was pacing around checkered tiles, playing hopscotch because I'm a bored old man, didn't have anything to do, and then that third verse, the one that's super emotional.
Oh, God.
We had the death of the patriarch in our family, and man, it was a huge deal, and it still is. It's super fresh. Just happened a year and a half ago now, I think, and he was so impactful. You don't realize how impactful somebody is until something like that happens, and just your day to day, like how you make your coffee in the morning, can change, and not forgetting the room you're in when something like that happens is super emotional. And if you can bring that same translation to everybody, because everybody gets it, everybody's been through a similar something, and so hopefully when that one does come out, it hits all the right heartstrings for everybody else.
It's a home run, dude. I'm telling you, I am not one. I believe that if you really care about somebody, and I whether you as a musician or not, me and you would have hit it off and became friends. I mean, me and you just would have been that way. I firmly believe that.
Strong vibe here.
Yeah. I mean, we're just good together.
I love you too.
Thank you. I got emotional. But I believe that with a song like that, that's putting you out there, dude. And what I kind of got sidetracked right because you said I love you. And I don't know.
I didn't mean to stir you up,
I'm more sensitive after when I'm hungover.
Oh yeah.
If I've drank all night the day before, somebody be like, "I love you," or want to hug me. And it's like, "Don't do it." I don't know why I'm so sensitive today.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Like I don't know. I'm on my
Netflix and cuddling for the rest of the day.
I always feel like I'm on my period. Like I always feel that way after drinking a lot in one night. I'm emotionally drained, I guess.
Do not tip the scale.
No, I try not to. I feel like with people like you and our other friends that are musicians, I think that there always has to be the honest person in the room. Like there always has to be that person. It's like, you're not going any further than this. I don't want you to keep wasting your money. Right. I don't want you, like, look, dude, you're a bar band.
Sure.
Okay. I'm the one, for some reason, I feel the need to do it because I see so many people wasting their money. They're trying to live their dream, and I'll never knock anybody trying to live their dream.
Right.
But sometimes you got to be an adult.
Agreed.
I commend you on taking care of your family and doing everything.
Right.
We've had people in here that they are not doing it the right way. Like, I've been around those musicians.
Right.
You're one of those that I've kind of teetered back and forth on because you're 34 now.
Sure.
And it's like, I know what he puts out. Like, I really like it. But like the songs that you've sent me before, I'm like, okay, these are good.
Right.
But they were missing something.
Sure.
They were never bad, so don't take it. No. You don't take it the wrong way.
Constructive criticism is a musician's best friend.
That right there, the direction you went with that, is what you need to do more of. Because you completely, like I said, I thought you were already very talented at what you do. I just haven't heard anything different from you that stood out.
Right.
You got a distinct voice. You're a good time. You're a great father and a great friend. That song made you stand out creatively more than I've seen anything else from you.
That's a huge compliment, man. I appreciate
like
that.
The Jesus was from Georgia.
Yeah.
I like it. There's nothing wrong with the song.
Sure.
I think it's a good song. Is it one that like I would have on repeat? Probably not.
Right.
But I would listen to it anytime it came on.
Sure.
But the one that you wrote, The Room,
Right.
I don't know if I'd turn it off.
That's good.
I don't. It's one of those. It's got that heartfelt though. I just feel like with you and other people, even if it took you 15 years to get to where you wrote that song,
Right.
without the experiences you had, you wouldn't have wrote that song.
Sure, most
so
definitely.
there's always this thing to where, like when I say you got to tell somebody if they're a bar band or not. I think with you doing that and doing more stuff like that, I think this fucking sky's the roof.
Well, I think the one thing I'm excited about this album and a couple of takes from that. First off, that's great. You know what you like.
Yeah.
But somebody out there may not be able to stand it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And that's great, and I love that. And that's one of the things that's translated for me so well over time. And the reason the live show is the way it is because I don't just stick to one genre. I don't like to stay cut in one area.
Yeah.
Or cut from one cloth. I like to try to blend everything. And, I got told early on in my career, it was like, listen, if you are going to be a bar band or you're going to be a musician regardless, first off, keep your party going. Nobody wants to go to the bar and cry.
No.
If they do, they're not the ones you're paying to party with.
No.
But you got one person at the end of the bar that loves Merle Haggard and wants to hear the Mo Pitneys like we did last night. Mo was killer last night.
I was
the crowd
very
singing for
impressed.
Mo? Maybe not.
Well,
but,
it was wrong environment for him.
Sure, but given the right environment, he was killer. I mean, he was this awesome musician.
Yes.
But then you got the T-Pain's, Lil Wayne's at the end of the, the WAPs at the end of the bar on this side that don't care anything about Merle Haggard.
Yeah.
And then you got the people in the middle that are listening to like Celine Dion and like smooth jazz music. But if you can find something to kind of meld them all in, and I was fortunate enough early in my career, I had a standing gig every Friday night when I was in Statesboro, and I started building this like sheet book of music. Like people would come up and like, hey, can you play this song? Nah, I can't play it, but if you come see me next Friday,
I'll know how to play it
by then. And I just built up, and now we've found all the right algorithm for finding what party songs hit and where, and try to make the crowd enjoy it. And so what I did with the album and what we've worked on is trying to curate country music, but to try to have some country music that hits everybody.
Yeah.
Like we've got one song that's called Two-Step Boot Scoot that's unreleased. It's very, very 90s country, kind of Travis Tritt, honky-tonk sound. Whiskey Gets Stronger. You heard that earlier.
Oh, no, that's the other one you played a while ago.
Yeah, that's
very
the Crying
good.
Your Beer, Your
Very
Girlfriend
good
Left
song.
You, but, a little bit of twist on it. And then we got another song called Better Off Alone that's unreleased. It's one of my personal favorites because it's very traditional country sound. But it's a play on, she left me, I left her, but whose fault was it? So it isn't anybody's fault. We're just better off alone. We're better people when we're not together. But, trying to hit every genre, as long as you're looking for me, the girlfriend, boyfriend, poppy, top 40 sound. If Jesus Was From Georgia, being a party, just anthem type. So trying to take that and make sure you stay in the country realm, stay true to yourself, but try to make sure everybody's hit and taken care of as you're going through that. So I'm hoping once the album's out that'll translate really well to everybody else, and I can find the people that love the Jason Isbell sound.
I think what we do with you, I think we dress you in all black, mysterious, which you almost always wear black anyway.
Just about.
All black, mysterious. We book you at listening rooms and everything, and you do more of like the somber stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's which I don't know. Like the inner you,
Sure.
I don't know. You might want to just do the party music or other stuff.
I got just as much broken glass in here as everybody else.
I think that's where you shine, though. I really like. I think I mean it with all due respect to everything else you do.
Sure.
Like when you were saying with the mixture of the bar.
Right.
I think with doing too much of that, it will mess you up as a musician.
Right.
Because then you start trying to please everybody.
Yeah.
Like. That I understand why someone would do it,
right,
because you have to, but at the same time, I feel like if you let that broken glass part of you shine,
right,
I think you're a bad boy. Which I already think you're a bad boy anyway.
That's what got us to putting out music now and finally getting an album done after all this time of playing. I had several buddies. My buddy Matt, you met Matt before. You met him at the Blue Room. His wife.
Okay.
He always harped. He's like, man, I love coming to see you play, but you've got better songs than this. And you got your own songs that you need to be playing that are better than what you're playing.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man, but they're not here to see me. They're here to see the party. Have a good time. He's like, try it. Put your own stuff out there. And it took so long for me to get over that because I've been playing live and doing good shows for a while, or at least I think good shows. And you don't want to be that guy that's like everybody's on a hype, like just got done with singing the third verse of Friends in Low Places, and you're like, by the way, this is my tune I wrote the other day.
I hate
and
when
then they
assholes
turn around
do
and go
that.
straight to the bar.
That's what happens.
You got to figure out how to put it in and how to make it just right.
Well, you also got to be in the right environment.
Right.
As much as I love the people at Kerrigan's is such a diverse crowd, and you would not think it would be. It's one of the last standing honky tonks in Georgia.
Right, but it's a hell of a mix.
Oh, it is. But it's like, because even with Mo Pitney, he was traditional country.
Right.
You would figure that people would pay him attention when he came on stage. And I didn't know who Mo Pitney was until we booked him.
Sure.
And I then posted some stuff past couple weeks on social media, and I had buddies from Nashville was like, wait till you hear this guy sing. He is classic country, and he's jam up. But what's crazy is you and Tiger Creek last night blew him out the water. Blew him out the damn water because it's the wrong environment for him.
Right.
All right, what I guess I'm trying to say is he went up there and he did him.
Right, and he did phenomenal.
Oh, he did great. Now, he did great. Just the crowd just didn't realize what they were watching. That's all it was. And the dude did phenomenal as far as I'm concerned.
For sure.
But like I said, just wrong environment for the fella. Then you get you up there, you and Michael Clements,
Right.
You did the most of the set. I think you did a couple songs with you. But you killed it. You set the bar so high. And then he comes up there and he's somber.
Right.
I didn't see him move away from
He was running around, jumping up and down.
Still phenomenal what he did do. And then Tiger Creek comes on the end of the night and just melts face.
By the time they got on, you and I were
we were
into
good.
the party crowd.
Oh yeah. So Tiger Creek, if they're listening right now, and I think they do, super nice guys.
Oh my God, they're super awesome.
I had never heard them play till last night.
I heard a few things, but I'd never seen a full show like that.
I'd never heard them play till last night. And when they came on and started throwing down the way they was throwing down, attention grabber, couldn't look away. Me and you at one point in time, I think it was the only two on the dance floor holding each other tight.
We did. We looked like an old married couple out there seeing our favorite band.
Oh my God, and it was great. But I guess with all that being said, I still think you have to be geared to play that environment, and you murder it. Now you do.
That.
Tiger Creek murdered it, but I respect that Mo got up there and did him, and I want to see more of you doing you.
Okay.
I want to see. Kerrigan's isn't the right environment for it.
Sure.
But there's gonna be places that hopefully we get to do business with you and book you, and you part of a lot of our events. You're family.
I appreciate that, man. You're family to me too.
Whenever we can do an event together, I want to do an event with you.
Right.
And I want more people to see what just happened in the Velvet Room.
Right.
I'm telling you, everybody's got a niche, and when you find that niche, you roll with it.
Right.
Not everybody's Luke Combs. Luke Combs can sing the damn phone book. It does not matter what that fat ginger bastard.
Oh my God.
Whatever. By the way, thank you, Luke Combs, for making people like me and Chuck look better.
That's right. Big boys unite.
Because of you is why women like us.
That's right. Big boy gang.
Thank you, sir. Team Ginger. But no, he can do whatever. Right. It does not matter if it's a slow song. He's going to kill it. If it's whenever he used to do Fast Car by Tracy Chapman used to kill it. You do a version. I hadn't heard you do that before.
Yeah, you have.
I thought so. Or if it's a love song, upbeat 90s or whatever.
Right.
But I don't think everybody can do that and pay the bills. I think that you got to find like your niche. I think what you did a while ago is your niche.
Okay.
I've never heard you do anything like that before.
Right.
And it went, but you also too, you got emotional doing it.
Yeah, man.
There is something about when an artist gets emotional.
Right.
that steals you. Whenever we get done with this and I upload the Velvet Session and all that, when they see that last 3 minutes, you're gonna have 500 to 1,000 new fans just because.
I can't wait for somebody. My guitar player
just
to
because
of
of
the crack in my voice.
But no, but
Okay.
but that's where you remember. You got to know who Kelly Clarkson is.
You're
God.
talking about my boot.
Oh yeah.
You
like?
listen,
I forgot
son.
that you like thick women like
Listen,
I do.
son, as a matter of fact, you can go on my Facebook.
Her or
right
Lauren
now,
Elena?
And
Her Kelly.
Number two is Lauren Elena, just because her backside can fill up that futon couch.
It can.
And she's still a boss.
Boy,
but Kelly Clarkson,
gracious.
since American Idol to now, I'm small, thick, big. Wherever she's back to normal now and getting. Oh my God. I told Shay, and there's a post on my Facebook right now. It's a couple pictures of Kelly Clarkson and said, "Listen, this will be my second wife, especially now that I know she's divorced."
Oh, is she?
Oh yeah, she divorced Mr.
Reba's son.
Yeah.
Oh shit,
Oh,
Kelly.
yeah, she's back on.
I'm here,
Mark.
baby. I'm here.
It's like second wife status. Shay ever leaves me, I've got big dreams and big hopes, and I know where I'm going.
You better have a big pocketbook, sir. I'm sure that don't come cheap.
I'll find a big enough pocketbook. That's where we're going, you know. Granted, Shay'll never leave me. She'll keep me in straight. So
Yeah,
it's
I
a
hope not.
hope and a pipe dream, but it's still a dream. You got to dream high, dream big. But anyways, Kelly Clarkson.
Whenever she did that song about her dad on American Idol,
my goodness.
and she breaks down and is crying in it,
Yeah, man.
I was not a fan of hers.
Right.
I just didn't. It wasn't. I didn't like her music or anything.
Right.
I just never paid her any attention.
Just pop music.
Yeah, I never ever paid. I didn't know her as. I knew she had won American Idol.
Right.
I didn't know a thing about her.
You didn't jam to like Miss Independent.
Do I look like I jammed a Miss Independent?
When you're not
Do not
here.
say yes.
It's like everybody saying they don't sing Backstreet Boys, but when I Want It That Way comes
Oh,
on, you always
please,
sing.
bruh. Like
Yeah, bro.
I'm 33.
And you still
I was
singing
in
it.
5th grade when TRL was at its peak.
Right.
Oh no, I'm sure I had like an NSYNC, Backstreet
Right,
Boys,
right.
98 Degrees. I had all that shit. But when she did that,
Right.
and I saw the emotion that she put out, she won me over to where I wanted to find out about this woman.
Right.
I wanted to, and then I found out, oh, she's a hell of a singer.
Yeah,
like
man.
she's actually extremely good.
Super
What she
awesome.
does, very talented. Because she grabbed me emotionally, and when somebody grabs you like that, you can't let go.
Right.
And I feel like when people hear you do the room, and even with that crack in your voice, or whatever, you're gonna grab people emotionally, and they're gonna be like, all right, I got to find out who this guy is.
Right.
And I think that there's something special to be said about that. But like I said, everybody's got at least one great song in them because it's your life. Nobody else can write it.
Exactly.
And when you're real and write a real song like that, it's a hit. It is a hit.
You know, whichever one it happens to be, I hope that one, it definitely is, just because it's touched so many people already. Just for the few people that I played it for,
I
was at
better
a-
get the demo the second you get it.
Oh man, you got it for sure. I played it at a party not too long ago because they were like, "Well, show us what you got new," and I was like,
Hold
all
on.
right.
You got any Kleenex?
You guys got to sit down." And by the time, it was kind of like you were. It was by the time I got to that third verse, it was like, "All right, can you play something else?"
I tell you, when you
Okay,
said,
cool.
what is it, waiting on you
Waiting
and
on
Jesus?
You're waiting on Jesus and you. Yeah. That
Oh,
one.
shit.
That's the hardest line to get through in that whole song, because it slows down right there for a second, so it gives you a second to think about the situation. And then, like I said, I was there for that situation, and God, it breaks you for a second there. But hopefully, check it out, guys. Go to YouTube with the Velvet Room Sessions. Check
It's
out
the
the
last
song. Tell me if
song
it's
on
any
there.
good. Download it, like and subscribe.
I'm gonna
Tell
post.
us it's
You're
any
the
good.
first person I'm gonna do this to, but I'm gonna post it separately too.
Really, I appreciate
of
that.
everybody that's came in here so far,
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna take that clip out of you just doing that, and I'm gonna post it separately.
I appreciate.
I
that.
want it
definitely
to
do.
stand out.
Oh yeah, thank you so much.
Well, I mean, when you got, I've told everybody that has came in, every musician that has came in, I want to see you. Like,
Right.
there's a reason why I've got this idea in my head, and I've shared it with you, and probably everybody that's listening has heard me talk about it 10 times. But I want what we're doing here to be a 70s Nashville,
Right.
or what's the famous Muscle Shoals?
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be where it's where artists like you Michael Clements, Lee Tucker, Tyler Branch, Corey Spires, all these folks. Tiger Creek, they're welcome here now after last night.
Right?
All these folks, it gives us a place to get together, and I want to see y'all work. Like, I want to see you write together. Me and you made the joke last night. I was sitting there with Michael Clements as you were playing him a song that you were just writing. And I was like, we need a bottle of liquor. We need to shut the doors. And the three of us just tinker with this.
Right.
Like but there's so many talented individuals
right.
that have came across, like, that has been put in my path.
Right.
And it's like, why don't y'all know each other?
Oh, yeah.
Why are y'all not working together?
Most definitely.
I'm obsessed with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is king to me at podcasts. The stuff that he's done has opened just my way of thinking up and viewing situations different than I've ever viewed them before, because he's a very free thinker,
right?
And he doesn't conform to or fit into any box, and that's how I want to be. And what he does that I find so damn cool is he gets all these comics together because he's a comedian,
right?
He gets them all together. They boost each other up. They support one another. They share each other's stuff, and it's where he helps them. Like he puts people in the room together that normally wouldn't get in the room together. Then they write jokes, and next thing you know, they blow up,
right?
Because they needed to cross paths, and he's the middle of them crossing paths,
right?
And that's how I feel about me and the musicians.
Right.
I like to write poetry. I can't play an instrument. I can't sing for shit.
Right.
But I like to write. And a lot of stuff that I write is usually when I'm shit canned.
Right.
But I feel like even with podcasts or whatever I do, there's something about being relaxed, having a buzz,
good time. Right,
and the creative shit just flowing out of you.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. I tell you, some of the songs I've written have been like one-liners caught off. There's a new song that we're still working on called "Boat Full of Holes." It's very much a party tune, but I had a country guy I worked with, and he was like, "It is going down today. It's a boat full of holes," is all I'm saying. I was like, man, that's a great line. And he's not a country writer. He didn't intend on giving me the line for a song, but I sat on it for like 6 months and then just kind of kept rolling with it. And I got a call from our producer, and he was like, hey, I need 3 more songs. That's what they're requesting of me. And I was like, okay, cool. I didn't have anything. I called my guitar player, Nick, and I was like, hey, man, take this line, see what you can do with it. And then I sent it to another buddy of mine. I was like, hey, man, take this line, see what you can do with it. And then we all kind of, via text and Skype and Zoom, because COVID was a thing for a while. I got it. I came from it. I'm done, thank God. But that's how we kind of virtually did the meeting.
Have you and Tucker ever wrote music together?
No, man. Listen, the only time I can catch up with Lee Tucker is at the bar, and that's if he's asking, hey, can we play Pony?
Oh my God! If that son of a bitch plays Pony one more time, let me tell you, that's how I met him.
That's how I met him too.
I had a party. That's how everybody met Lee Tucker. They were on stage. He's like, "Hey, buddy, I can play Pony."
Right?
That's
literally it, man. I was in Showman Bluff playing the show, and
nobody has got laid less playing Pony than Lee Tucker. Everybody else that has ever played that,
it had to work at one point. And I'm not hating on you at all, Lee. I promise I'm not. I'm not at all. But it had to work at one point because he kept trying it. We're not giving up on
I don't know. I've seen Lee with women. He ain't gave up on that yet either. Yeah.
Love you, Lee.
Oh yeah. He gets tickled. He said the other day, he said he listens to all the podcasts because I name drop him all the time.
Right.
Y'all two and Tyler Branch and Michael Clements. There's a couple more Justin Dukes.
Right.
I feel like you're like my actual brothers.
Yeah,
I say that,
and
it's people that I did not know 5 years ago.
Right.
It's so weird to me. There's people that I'm going on a bachelor trip this week.
Right.
He's like my little brother. I love him to death. But he's moved on to a whole different life. Like
right.
We still hang out and do stuff together, but we don't fit in like the same goals and aspects and dreams and
same
everything.
aspirations, right?
Yeah, so like all of us are dreamers,
right?
Like every one of us that we hang out with, we're dreamers, and dreamers only understand dreamers.
Right.
Like, I got buddies that's like, what are you doing with this podcast studio? Like,
Right.
you're
What are
a
you going to do with
dumbass.
that? Right.
Or don't go to work.
Right.
Like, and it's like, in 2 years, you'll be wanting a job from me.
Right.
Like, I had to get it out of my head for the longest time that if you want to be successful in music,
right,
or what I want to do, you got to kind of quit listening to people.
Yeah,
and
you got to manifest your own destiny.
Yeah, you got
push
to
for
make
your
it
own
happen.
success. Stop talking about it. Be about it and do it.
You are, and I am.
Yeah, man.
And I am so. This is one of the things, man. You were a blessing. You and Shay and everybody. But I'm telling you, that broken glass out of you, I'm getting it out of you.
Okay,
I'm getting it out. And next time you got one of those boat full of holes or whatever,
right?
Send me something.
Sure.
And we got to get Tucker involved.
Oh yeah.
Y'all, he just came out. I'll play you the demo whenever we get done. But it's called Damn Whiskey.
Yeah.
And it has got your name and his name all over it.
Okay.
Like he's already finished with it, but y'all's writing style.
I'm sure.
Oh man, you two.
Kathleen's one of my favorites.
Oh God, I love Kathleen. I love Kathleen. He sent me. Let me tell you that he sent me one the other day.
Right.
And he's at the listening room, and he records this guy. You know who Matt McKinney is?
Yeah, I do.
All right, tall son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I like old Matt.
Big lanky bastard.
Yeah, Matt's on stage with these two girls and this other guy, and I can't remember his name, but this guy plays a song called "Dick Down in Dallas."
Okay.
I'm obsessed. Like Lee sent it to me.
Right.
And first thing I did, and sir, if you're listening right now, Lee's already told you that I did this. I recorded it off of YouTube.
Right.
Put it in my Dropbox so I can listen to that damn thing whenever I want to.
Nice.
And because I'm obsessed with it.
Right.
And you two would complement each other so well.
So.
As long as he would not ask you to play pony.
We'll play it though.
No, just tell him to stop.
We do.
He looks like a damn Clydesdale now. He don't look like a damn pony. There ain't no right.
The potbelly stallion.
He went from a Shetland to a potbelly pig real fast.
It's a strong, hard-ridden, put-up-wet Clydesdale.
Oh my God, he's something. But no, I would look. You, me, him. You ever been around Tyler?
I hadn't. Tyler and I have played in the same circles a bunch.
He's in New York right now. He has to get his ass back down here. If he does not get back down here soon, I'm going to New York to get him.
Why don't we make a trip?
We'll go.
Let's go.
I'll go get his ass right now if he'll move in with me and just write music.
I'm all for that.
There are so many of y'all that are so talented, and I understand that you have to work a 9 to 5. You have to. You got children. You got responsibilities,
family, Most
and
definitely.
everything. But I hate seeing anybody give up on their dream. I hate when you have talent. Now there's some folks that are in music that need to stop,
and you can't tell them.
And you can't tell them.
Right.
And there's some that's been in here that it's like, what is that line in Shrek? That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
That'll do.
It's like you've done enough.
Right.
It's not happening. We talked about when we first started, but Matt Brantley, I want more music from Matt.
Man,
but I think the industry has beat folks down.
Yeah.
I admire folks that keep going.
I had this talk with Jason, the guy I keep telling you about, our producer, because I've always had that fear, and when I was younger, I had a deadline. Like when I hit 30, if I haven't done something with my career, then I'm just going to keep working my 9 to 5. And I pushed hard in the hotel business, and I was a director before 30. To be a director in the hotel business before 30 is kind of unheard of. Usually, those your old timers that have been there for 50 years. So Shay and I both pushed really hard. But then I got to 30, and I was like, bro, you haven't had enough life experience to write a good song.
And you don't.
Quit. And Jason and I were talking about it. I was like, I just don't want to be that guy that's 45 still trying to be the entertainer, because it's not going to relate to people at some point.
You know what I'm learning though, a whole lot more, especially with this. There's a lot of people that don't get famous till after 30. There's
right.
a lot of people that don't, because you don't know who the hell you are yet.
Right. Now he brought up, he was like, I hear what you're saying, and I understand, the idea behind it. He said, did you know that guy that wrote, and he named out such and such songs? And I was like, I mean, I don't know who wrote them. I know who sang them. You know, I know that one's a Darius Rucker song.
Yeah.
That one's, Trisha Yearwood song. He was like, yeah. He was like, that guy is in his 40s right now, and he's all over the charts. He was talking about Chris Stapleton. He was like, you didn't know who he was at 20. He was like, have you seen the picture of him on Facebook where he's in his overalls with no beard and short hair? He looks like a farmer.
Ugly son of a
He was
bitch.
like, nobody knew who that guy was. He said, but think about it. He said, it's not about what you look like. And I think that's a great thing to know. Yes, sometimes it is what you look like and you want to be pretty.
Is 42.
42, right. So,
42. And he's only, even though he was an extremely good songwriter,
right.
he's only been on the scene 10 years.
Tops.
Maybe.
Right.
32.
Right.
That's us.
Right. That's where we're at. That's the peak of starting to write, and I think that it's really not. If you can write a good song, and hopefully I do one day, that translates to the people, and you can feel it.
I'm
when
telling
you're playing
you,
it.
This is November the 1st, 2020.
You gonna write it down?
I'm telling you right now, when you put out the room, when people hear that song, you remember I told your ass first, what you've heard it from other people. There ain't no way that you've played that song for other people,
right?
And they haven't told you. That's the one.
All right, that's the one
that's the one that pushes you to the next level.
I hope so, man. I want to do it. That's 5 years, the end of that goal. We were talking. I want music to be my day job. I still pedal around and do my day job every day because I do. I've got two boys. I've got a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old, Mac and Grady. They're a lot in my life. Love those boys. And I got to make sure they're taken care of.
I got to sell one song.
Shay's a boss, and she's taking care of her business and doing her business with the pivot approach. And, it's, again, one of those things, like, you can't let anybody tell you not to dream, because she's been doing the hotel business for years and grown exponentially. And we moved to Nashville. We took our jobs there, and the COVID
Did you like it there?
Pre-COVID, yeah. I mean, it's a different experience. It's, it is, as everybody says, it's a little cliquey some days.
I don't like
it. The thing that, the inner musician in me is everybody up there is a musician. Everybody up there can sing, and everybody's good. Almost
right.
Everybody's good.
Yeah.
And so, as cool as it is, and it's this, cesspool of all the biggest, best things that you could get out of music, it also, you really have to struggle for some authenticity and some originality up there, because everybody's doing the same thing.
That's why I don't like it. That is
why. That was the only thing that had a downside in music for me.
That is my only problem with Nashville, besides for the bachelorette parties.
Right.
There's nobody to find an original in Nashville.
Right.
Is so hard.
It is.
And then you take somebody that is so good, you get them up there, and they want to change them. I played you the song. Well, actually, I didn't play you the song last night. It came on while we was there. Sam Hunt.
Yeah.
I don't like Sam Hunt's music, but he's got a couple of songs that are outstandingly wrote.
Right.
That if it was not arranged the way that it's arranged, every country boy, every bearded, backwoods son of a bitch is like, who's Sam Hunt? She sounds horrible.
Right.
They hear that song and they're like, oh, Sam Hunt don't sound that bad.
Right.
Like, it's 2016.
Yeah, that
and then,
song was killer. I
Drinking
didn't
Too
expect
Much.
that.
I don't know if you got to listen to Drinking Too Much.
I hadn't. I've got it saved on my ride back up to Atlanta.
Let me tell you, Sam Hunt, if it was anybody else doing that song,
right.
And I don't even know if he wrote those. I would almost think they're so different than everything else that he does.
Right.
That either the same person wrote those songs or he wrote those songs.
He wrote those when he was playing
I know the Drinking Too Much he wrote, because when you hear that one, you're going to be like, all right, I kind of like this guy now.
Right.
I hate that I like
it. Well, I mean,
but that's what Nashville wants. They want the pretty boy. They want the pretty girl. And then they throw folks that have real talent because they don't fit into the mold out.
Right.
That's so freaking stupid to me. Look at how ugly Janis Joplin was. Janis Joplin is one of the ugliest creatures ever walked this earth. But the good Lord gave her.
Right. She looks like she should have been in the labyrinth.
Yeah.
But
that gave her the. She sings like an angel.
Right.
And Luke Combs, he's so damn ugly. He's cute. He's like that dumpster dog.
Right.
Like he's like, we're taking him home. We're keeping him.
Arrested.
And he can sing the phone book.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, that's why. And I hate to see anybody because me and you wouldn't fit in. I know I wouldn't fit in Nashville.
Oh no, man.
I when you told me he was going up there, I was kind of like, shit, I don't want Chucky to go up there because I thought it was going to beat you down.
No, man. It's not gonna. It couldn't beat me down. I'm gonna play music regardless. If someday somebody doesn't want to listen, it's still fine. I'll still be playing music. But I did see a lot of eye-opening things, like the dreamer and all the people that are like, oh, I'm moving to Nashville. It's the next big step. You got another solid 10 years of work before you even become somebody that knows somebody,
Yeah.
So if you're going to go to and you're going to do it, go now, Hoss.
I tell everybody the same thing because there's a lot of younger artists that approach me
Right.
that want to get my opinion on things because of the people that I know
Right.
out there. And I tell them all the same thing. If you do not already have a publishing deal,
Right.
do not take your ass up there. Because if you think that you're good,
Right.
there's 100 people up there that are just as
delivery
good.
boy up there.
Everybody.
Everybody.
It's everybody. I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad it didn't beat you down. I was worried
scar
about
me.
that the whole time. I was worried about you.
Well, I appreciate that. No,
It's because I think you're talented, though.
I appreciate that. I really
It's
do, man.
because I think you're talented, and I think that people, when they get up there, they try to conform because
Right.
they want to make it.
Right.
But Macon used to be like a hub
For music.
right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think with the way that music's taking a turn now, it takes a turn like every 20 years. and
Right.
I think it's taking a turn. I think with Sturgill and Tyler and all
man.
those artists and everything
Right.
that are they're not getting radio play. Let's be real. Radio's dying anyway.
Unfortunately.
Because of the phones.
Right.
Because of our
You
phones.
can stream everything.
Yeah, there's
instant
no
gratification.
reason to tune into a radio station. I just
Right.
got done doing radio, and I know that I have friends that would not listen
Right.
because they don't want to hear the same dumbass song that they don't like
Right.
500 times
I'm
a day.
not gonna lie. I listened to Y96 when you were on there, and I listened to the morning shows.
Yeah.
I cut the radio off after that and go back to what I wanted to listen to.
Well, that's what a lot of people did.
Right.
And that's what with whatever show they listen to, they'll listen to the person talking, but when it's time for the music, they don't want to listen to stuff they don't want to listen to.
Right.
That's a tune-out factor.
Sure.
And people don't realize, in the day and age we live in now, just because it says top 20 country songs or whatever, that's not the real top 20.
Right.
Sturgill Simpson right now is the #1 country on iTunes, the most downloaded on Spotify, and everything
Right.
with his Cutting Grass album that just came out.
Man,
right?
it's killer.
You hear any of those songs on the radio?
No.
Now, how does that make sense? That it's the #1 country song, but it's not being played on country radio?
Right.
It's all a joke.
Yeah, it's politics. There's
And
a lot of that politics in there.
I think with someone like you, if you get to where you want to be the performer and you don't want to just sell music, I think there's a career for you to be a performer.
Right.
I also think there's a career for you to be a songwriter.
Right.
I think that's how I have a lot of confidence in you.
Well, I appreciate it.
And I'm glad that Nashville, I've seen it break, folks. I've
Yeah.
seen it. And that's when you told me you were moving back down this way, I was so happy.
We were happy too, man.
I was
Family's
so
here, and
happy.
Nashville was fun, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the people I met there, and I made some lifelong connections while I was in there, and I opened my eyes to so much. But Georgia's my home. It's been my home since I was born, and
I'm telling you, we can make Macon, we can make Central Georgia
Right.
again. I'm pushing for the damn movement. Like I'm
Right.
going to be the leader of this movement to
I'll
bring
follow
real
right
music
behind you with my picket
back
sign. Let's
to
do it.
Georgia. I mean, because it needs to. Muscle Shoals is a little last town in Alabama,
But everybody knows about
everybody knows it. Macon used to be a hub.
it. Right?
There's still a big record company there.
Yeah.
And they don't know it yet, but I'm knocking on their door soon. And they either can be friends with me or they can have an enemy.
They can be friends. I'm sure they'll be friendly.
I think they will be. I think they don't. I'm not going to give them a choice.
That's
Like,
right.
but it's because I know guys like you.
Right.
I can take that song right,
Right.
there. Tyler Branch has a song.
Right.
I can't remember what it's called. That I can take that song. Lee Tucker's got Damn Whiskey in a couple songs.
Right.
That I should be able to take to absolutely anybody and be like, look, we're all a family here. we're working together. If you don't want these guys, because we're finna promote the shit out of them.
Right.
We're fixing to make it to where everybody in Georgia knows their name in country music.
Right.
You either be part of it or somebody else will. And you gonna damn regret it if you're not.
Right.
Because those
That's
are real songs.
solid,
I have a vision in my head that in the next year, once we get to where we have the recording studio back here, that I'm going to do probably like a 12-track album. And it is going to be putting all y'all together.
Right.
And it's going to be, you know.
Now that's what I call Raising Grace.
Yes. Now there you go. Volume 1.
Volume 1.
But it's where y'all will sing. Everybody will come up with songs together.
Sure.
Put it together. I think it would be
I
so
think
unique.
That's a super
cool.
awesome idea. Like, hey, you three, go record a song.
Yeah.
We're dropping it tomorrow.
You get like, because I'm all about duets anyway. But you get somebody like y'all being kind of rough on a song, and then you get Megan Fowler, who was in here the other day, come in and be sweet on her verse with it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Other day, Chris Taylor and Corey Spires were in here. Never had met each other before.
Right.
This is how I knew the idea was going to work. They had never, ever met each other before, never been in the same room. We was drinking, hanging out. 3 o'clock in the morning comes around. They're in there doing Picture, and they're starting to do Simple Man and everything together. Now, we recorded a very rough version, but we were shit-faced, and we thought it sounded better. We thought it was sounding better than it did, but they complimented each other so much. And it's not about forming a group or anything. It's about now people that like Corey like Chris. It's cross-branding. And now people that like Chris like Corey.
Right.
Same thing with you. That's how you build your audience up. Every one of y'all have a following.
Right.
Every one of y'all have a fan base. Same thing with me. And it's where I want us all to mix that shit. And when I say Raising Grace family all the time.
Right.
It's not just us. It's your family becomes my Shay and your kids are my family. Gracie, her mother, is your family.
My family, right.
And if you expand that to everybody, then we're going to have something special here. And that's what I'm investing like all my time and effort in is into that experience to where we can come here, we can have fun, we can put on shows, we can actually help people, help less fortunate folks.
Right.
And that's what one thing that pisses me off, and I actually told somebody this last night that I used to work with, I do not like it that you have people that have platforms like we have, including yourself, a musician or whoever, that don't give back.
Man, that is.
I hate that shit. We are
100%.
blessed. We are blessed to be in the position that we are in.
100%.
And first off, if you got a platform like this, be real. I think that's why people like me.
Right. Oh, no, totally agree.
It's because I'm not going to hold back. And there's been times like I'll say shit that might make my friends constructive criticism.
Right.
If you're weak-minded, don't be around me because I'm going to tell you. But I want you to do the same to me.
Sure.
If I'm failing at something, and you see that I'm failing at something,
oh, hell, I called you at the first 2 or 3 podcasts, and I'm like, hey, this is what I think. And you're like, cool, I've already started working on that, but I'm glad you called me and told me.
Yeah, oh yeah, because there was a dead noise in them.
Right.
Yeah, there was. All it was is transferring file to file.
Right.
Didn't transfer it the right way. But you and Lee Tucker are the only two that called me about it. It tickled me.
But you want your friends to succeed.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You want these things to be successful.
I'm glad. But, man, I really hate to cut this one off.
We're going to do it again.
Oh, we are. There's no way that we're not. Next time we're doing it with Buzz.
Yeah.
I'm not doing I started to tell you that I was like, hey, let's take a couple shots before we do this. And then my brain went back to last night and it's like, if you do that to yourself, I am shutting down. I am done with you. I want nothing to do with you. Like I knew my body was
the best thing last
pissed.
night. Preface the story. A buddy was like, hey, can I get you guys some shots? Sure, man. Go ahead.
You son of a
Came
bitch.
back.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Josh just threw it back, man. You threw that thing back. It was so no question. Oh, that's Fireball.
All right, so it's got to be the same way with you. But when I go out, that is the thing that people always want to do.
Oh my
is
gosh,
they want to buy me a shot.
Right, and you
And
don't
I
want
am
to be
so,
that guy.
No, I don't want to be like, oh, I can't do this.
Right.
I don't want to be that person.
Right.
But if you bring me Fireball and I spit it back in your face, then you need to know that I've warned every damn one of you.
Take this PSA right now. No
Yes,
fireballs for Josh Terry.
I'm cool with you bringing me a beer. Please, but understand, there was people last night at 7:30. Hey, let's go do a Jaeger bomb.
Oh,
Fuck you!
No,
I've got to
sir.
be here till 2 o'clock.
That's
in the
my wild
morning.
turkeys, Jaeger.
I love Jaeger.
I love it.
They don't like you.
Nah.
That's my guy.
See, oh yeah, Luke Bryan farm tour the first year that started happening.
Well, let me tell you. You know how I know that's the truth? Because everybody's got a farm tour story.
Everybody does.
There is not a person I know that ain't because those farm tours were so good.
Yeah, man, we had
Luke Bryan was such a bad man.
I think what was it? We had 3 bottles of Jaeger between us, and they were like, no glass, dump it out. I was like, I'm not dumping anything out. He was like, you got to dump it out. You got to get rid of it here. And I was like, got it, bro. Goop, 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 goop. We had a Red Bull in one hand and a bottle in the other, and sat there until it was gone. By the time I got to, it was the farm tour where we recorded Rain is a Good Thing, like did the video of it, and they're like spraying water over everybody so it looks like it's raining. By the time it got to there, I felt the rain, but I don't remember the show. I mean, I was just like, yep, this is wonderful. And next morning, needless to say, I didn't get up too early. I should have probably been hospitalized.
Oh, yeah. So you ever been to St. Patty's Day in Savannah?
Yes, I have.
All right,
I've experienced
so
that.
my dumbass last time I
Bad
went,
decisions?
and I'll
No
never go back to St. Patrick's Day anyway. All right, so you ever seen like these? They're for camping, but they're like bags that
Camelbacks.
Yeah, well, it's not a camelback, but it's the bag like it.
Okay.
It's just got like a clip on the side you put on your belt buckle or whatever.
Yeah. I know what
All
you're
right,
talking about.
so can't have glass in Savannah. My dumb ass gets a whole bag of Jaeger, and I go ahead and mix the Jaeger and Red Bull because, like, yeah, of course that can't hurt you, right? and it's a
Red
big
Bull and
ass
Jaeger
bag.
sloshing
It's
around all day in the
it
heat.
was. That's what happened.
Oh.
All right, so we're about to go in saddlebags, and we had done walked like 2 miles. Uber has to drop you off forever away
Right.
because the roads are blocked off. This is still like, because you know it parties all day. This is like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
I've been out in the heat, Jaeger sloshing. Security says, "Sir, you can't take that in," and I'm like, "Fuck that! This
Right.
is $40 worth of Jaeger.
Right.
I'm drinking it." Oh, I drank
Guzzled it.
I
Yeah.
was squeezing the bag out into my
Oh,
mouth.
God, I could just feel your pain right now. Your liver
It was
cringing.
hot. It was hot as hell. And about 30 minutes later, I was one of those guys. I was asleep on the cobblestone in the middle of the day. I've picked on those guys before.
Is that a hobo? No, that's Josh.
No,
Terry.
yeah, and I had a kilt on.
Even better.
I had a kilt on. Luckily, I had on some briefs or whatever underneath me. But everybody thought it was hilarious to come by and flick the kilt up.
Oh yeah, had to.
And then my friends,
I would have done the
you
same.
know, you know how your friends they always want to make the situation worse.
Oh, yeah.
My buddies start coming up flicking me in the balls. No way, just hard enough to where it's like, hey, it's
Yeah.
Well, I was pissed.
Oh man, I can only imagine.
If everybody's got a farm store and a Jaeger store.
Oh, man.
and we're
Jaeger's
gonna get
not
to
my
hear
friend.
more of yours next time. You got to
Awesome.
promise me you come back.
Most definitely. Anytime you're ready for it, let's schedule it, make it happen. I'm all for it.
Good. All right, brother. Well, I love you. Drop your social media links one more time.
Instagram, Chuck P Music or Chucky P Music. If you want any of the other socials, you can go right to my website. It's chuckparrishmusic.com. You can hear the singles, get them for free, share them with your friends. Thank you so much for listening to me today, and thank you for having me, Josh. I appreciate
Anytime,
it.
brother. And God bless you and your family.
God bless
I love
you.
you, man, and
Thank
best
you.
of luck to you. And thank all y'all for listening to Politics, Religion, and Whiskey, the Josh Terry Podcast.